Hey guys, what's up? So coming at you here from Suzhou, a city about a half an hour by train from Shanghai. Today I'm standing here by one of the ancient lakes in Suzhou. Suzhou is back in the old days was famous for lakes and gardens, and we can see one right here. Over there in the distance you see a new commercial area with the famous Pants building. Which is called that for obvious reasons. And yeah, it's October, it's autumn, getting a bit chilly, but still okay. You hear some classic music in the background from the shopping mall over there. Actually a very nice area in Suzhou. It's a bit more chilled than Shanghai. I just want to follow up on my last video a few months ago about the US-China trade relationships. Back then, at the very early stage, right after Trump launched a trade war one in his second administration, I said that Trump was seriously underestimating China and that most likely he would have to back down and hope that the Chinese would accept that surrender. Consequently, a few weeks after my video, he did back down, called a ceasefire, and basically pretended like nothing ever happened. And that was fine for several months until the other week when China itself restarted the trade war by pulling out their, to say, ace of hearts in this whole thing by severely restricting rare earth exports to the whole world, basically. And the question is, why did China simply restart the trade war? Why weren't they happy with the ceasefire? Why didn't they go back to normal? Well, there are two obvious reasons. One of them is that they feel that they are dealing with a weak opponent who is has a temper issue and is not being very strategic in the way he's doing these things. So they feel they have the upper hand against him. They also believe that the US surrender the first time indicates that their resolve right now is very weak and that it's a good time to actually put pressure on them to get things that they really want. So the question is then, what do they really want? There were discussions or some talks the first time that actually what China really wanted was a concession from the US that they would not only, let's say, not be in favor of Taiwan independence, but also make a strong statement that they were opposed to Taiwan independence. And this kind of like, these comments are resurfacing again, that this is what China really wants in these trade negotiations. It's not about trade, it's really about Taiwan. And I believe that's most likely the case, that they believe that with Trump, he will simply say, this Taiwan topic isn't really a big deal, and changing the words a little bit won't really change anything, so no harm done. Of course, for the Taiwanese, that's very different. And what China really wants to do is to break down the Taiwanese resolve of independence mentally, and this would help them a lot with that. The question, though, what I'm asking or thinking, is if that will really be enough this time. Because the Chinese position is so strong, and they're dealing with such a weak opponent that it's possible that they will even try to push further. They might even ask for the US to completely stop selling weapons to Taiwan, stop all kind of bilateral communications with Taiwan, or something else, just to really see how far they could get. Because again, these kind of opportunities don't come along very often. So I guess we will hear something soon, next couple of weeks or months, about how these discussions are going. But yeah, I think that is what China really wants and what they're trying to do. So anyway, those are my thoughts. If you have any comments yourself or any ideas, feel free to let me know. Anyway, take care from a beautiful Suzhou. See you next time, guys.